Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone. We'd like to call to order the February 26, 2026 meeting of the North Beach Planning Commission. We have five items on the agenda tonight, four items, excuse me. The first is approval of last month's minutes. I don't know if the members need a minute or two to look over those or if there are any immediate comments. The floor is open. And do we have other members online this evening?
Stacy, would you like to jump in or would you like me to do it? We've got Alyssa Levin, our attorney, and a guest, RMH.
Okay. So we're currently sitting at three members. Okay.
Um, in the first dot under minute approval, it was a little confusing when reading it. It says motion was made by Mrs. Hummel to amend the minutes to include the vote on the 2024 annual report with Mr. Annandale making the motion to approve. Mr. Heiner seconded the motion. It's not clear that Mr. Annandale making the motion to approve and Mr. Heiner seconding the motion were from the meeting that the minutes were about. Or maybe that was just how I read it. I think if we could change the word with to where, it's a little clearer.
Mrs. Hummel, you can make a motion to amend those minutes to make that correction.
Okay.
Thank
So
you.
I move to amend. I move to amend. I move to amend the minutes from Thursday, January 22nd, 26, under minute approval to, under the first bullet, delete the with and replace it with where to clarify who made what motion when.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So before we get into the agenda, I'm not sure how to, maybe we could get a input from council about how to handle our alternate for this evening. We haven't formalized our alternate policy. So, and we do have an alternate here this evening who can participate, as we had discussed last month, to fully round out the committee to 5 people if possible. So any guidance you might be able to provide us with how to handle that this evening, or if we should address it, or just wait until we finalize our alternate policies.
Hey, Alyssa, I think that question was directed towards you.
I'm sorry, could you repeat it?
Sure. We have 3 of 5 members here this evening.
Yeah,
As discussed in our meeting last month, we're in the process of developing our policies for alternates. We do have an alternate present this evening, who is ready, willing, and able to participate as a member. But we haven't finalized our policies, so we're in a little bit of a gray area, I think.
is the alternate provided for in the ordinance?
Um,
Jerome, would you
I-
like me to address that
Let's
with her?
take a
Sure.
moment.
yes, any help would be welcome.
Um, so Alyssa, the planning commission has been working for a few months to put policies and procedures in place and then a policy for alternate members. It is on their agenda tonight to hopefully finalize, and they will vote to put all of those policies, procedures, and alternate members in place. So the question right now is, since Becky is an alternate, how should the meeting be addressed before the policy is adopted? In the policy, it states that at the beginning of the meeting, the chairperson will say that we do have a quorum and recognize any alternate member as part of that quorum who will participate in the entire meeting as a commission member.
Yes, but my question is what the zoning ordinance says about the membership of the planning commission.
We do not have the alternate members in the zoning ordinance at this time because we're still working on the policy.
So if and I'm hold on, I'm going to open up your zoning ordinance. Searchable. One moment. You have to download your ordinance because it's not searchable online. But while I'm doing
We're
that,
in the process of upgrading our website, so we haven't got all the kinks out of that yet.
that's okay. While I'm doing that, I will say this. If the ordinance provides for a particular membership of your planning commission and does not provide for an alternate, you cannot have an alternate sit because the ordinance doesn't authorize it. But I'm looking to see whether that's the case.
But we do have a forum, so
Yeah.
just drive on.
If you have a quorum without the alternate, it would be best practice to proceed without the alternate.
Okay, so why don't we proceed without the alternate this evening? Becky would very much like you to be online so you can participate in the discussion.
Can I just stay here now?
You can, if you like.
Great.
I have no problem, obviously, no voting or anything, but we will be reviewing that later on, so it'd be great to have your input. Wonderful. Great. With that in mind, we can move on to the business items. First one is election of chair and vice chair. At the meeting last month, we decided to delay this because we did not have a quorum. If anybody feels like that is a good idea for this month as well, please feel free to make a motion.
Move that we delay until next month to. I move that we delay the vote on this until next month when we hopefully have a full membership present.
I'll second that.
Cool.
Aye.
Second item on the business items is case number 25-15, the shops at North Beach. Rick, could you give us a quick rundown just to give us a verbal run through? I don't actually.
On screen too, if you can see it.
Great. Absolutely.
You to address before any approvals take place tonight. From the planning and zoning side, we're just asking that before any approvals come, that part of those conditions are based on landscape plans being provided, because I don't believe we don't have a full schedule for the landscape plans associated with this. But everything else that was asked for from the Planning Commission and from the Department of Public Works has been provided.
My apologies. I didn't see the notes you put together here. They're great. So if the members can maybe run through those most important section, that's a background section, right? With the 3 bullet points there. Is that correct? Some of those have been, oh, Rick, you were saying the next Public Works. Okay, that's on page 2, top of page 2. So Department of Public Works recommends approval or has no objection to the presentation, and that is ingress and egress from Bay Avenue on through to Chesapeake Avenue. So with that, are there any initial comments from the members?
Or any questions about the staff report in general?
Looking at the map, with the layout that shows the parking lot entry to remain where located, that's wide enough for dual traffic, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Are the dumpsters screened?
Yes, yes.
So he's gonna use screw piles? Is that what I saw?
Yes, what it is, it's a helix screw pile that goes down about 35 feet. And then what we will be doing is.
Yep. Yeah, please take a seat.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
My name's Tom Reinecker. I'm the architect of record for the project.
Thank you for being here, Tom.
My pleasure. Well, we're going because of all of the glass in the new library building and the concern about potential damage from driving wood piles, the decision that we made was to use a helix pile. In the particular one that we're going to utilize, we will auger down about 3 feet. We'll then at that point, the helix pile will go into a depth of about 35 feet, and then from that 2 foot in diameter void will be filled with concrete, and there will be a 2 foot diameter pier that will come up about 2.5, 3 feet. So, our feelings are that poses very little potential for damage to adjoining buildings. It's a very clean system. There's very little in the way of disturbance to the site. That no grading is required. So we feel that this is really a pretty good solution for what we're doing.
Yeah, that took out a lot of my vibration questions with all adjacent utilities and buildings, so that's probably a good selection. So Rick, your review boiled down to two conditions that are on the last page.
Correct.
Okay, so you've kind of summarized all. And just to confirm, we don't have any height challenges on this one, at least, and appreciate you putting the actual elevation total instead of making me run through the string line. Much appreciated.
You're quite welcome.
Yeah, no, from planning and zoning, we just want to see it on the final plans to be able to have that data table on there. I'm sure that's going to be required once it goes to the county anyway, so we're just asking that those are the plans that come to the town to be stamped, that they have the data table, that you guys get a full landscape plan presented, so we know what that's going to look like. And those are really the two big ones.
Good. All right. So just to clarify, so ownership or the jurisdiction that owns the 3 streets in question here, is that all town?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so, and then, because I was heading into traffic signage requirements, are we gonna dovetail off talk to the county on that, or are we gonna provide?
Those would all go through the town. Our
Okay.
Public Works.
All right, so, will that show up on the final? I guess I was wondering, are we putting stuff, what's our signage gonna look like? And who, I guess we would recommend it from the town to the builder, or?
I believe the town will put them up. We have, the Public Works has the street signs now.
Okay.
We may have to relocate some additional ones, once construction is completed, but the town has those signs already.
Okay, great, because I was looking for them, but then I realized it's probably ours, not the
Yeah,
county's.
Bay Chesapeake and Fifth
Right.
Wall, so.
Great.
And for the sake of the audience here, can you run through the delivery area and traffic for that? this area on Bay Avenue, is my memory serving me that there was a dedicated delivery area near the dumpsters? Is that?
We can provide that. I think one iteration did show that. I don't think it made it on to this particular one, but COA is probably going to be preparing the final site plans with all the grading and stormwater management.
Yeah.
We can ensure that that's covered with that.
Okay. It's unclear from the plans here if that area was the delivery area here. Wasn't that originally?
Yeah.
About how that would be accessed, if that would be access from the parking lot. I'm assuming I don't see access here from Bay Avenue.
I
So,
think it would make more sense to access it from the parking.
okay. I mean, just for that area, there is going to be it appears to be a fair amount of deliveries done there. Anything that can be done to, conceal that or keep that in a, because it is going to be fronting Bay Avenue more than likely. Yes, any type of landscaping or screening that can be done for that would be extremely helpful.
Sure.
Any other comments, questions? If not, would anyone like to make a motion?
I just wanted to clarify. So our comments, in addition to the two required conditions from planning and zoning office, would be illustration of the dumpster and delivery area and a screening concept for the Bay Avenue side. Would that be correct?
I think a comprehensive landscape plan should cover the screening and all those other things for the dumpster loading area. That should all be included.
That would be fine. I'd like to make a motion on case 2515. The 2-story commercial building, shops at North Beach. Approved with the following conditions. Incorporating the planning and zoning, 2 conditions listed in the 26th February, or rather 12 February date staff report, with the addition of illustration of the dumpster delivery area and screening for the Bay Area side, or rather Bay Avenue side.
I second for purposes of discussion. Do we want to include the DPW requirement as well? with that 30 days written notice.
That second paragraph.
Is that standard, Rick?
30 days notice prior to construction. I think with a project this size, it's more than reasonable, but it's gonna take with potentially at least 30 days to go through the county.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I could wrap it into this piece. I was just asking, is it our standard 30-day notice? Because if it is, then we don't have to call it out. It's already.
I don't think we have a standard. We don't have anything in the ordinance that says you must. We have certain things like cutting a tree down, we need 3 days notice, so. This one, because of the size of it and because of the location, because it is the main parking lot. Just to have DPW have time to be able to coordinate the construction site and where everything's gonna be placed.
Does the county have a duration on theirs for erosion and sediment control, or?
I do not know.
Okay, then we should probably pull that in then too. If we don't, if that's not our standard, then we should pull that in this.
And I think 30 days is reasonable. Like I said, I would envision that the county permitting process is gonna be far longer than 30 days.
So on a procedural note, if we want to add that in, what's the proper format for
I think we should ask the maybe whether or not that's something we should put in your recommendation or just something we should deal with in-house.
I mean, it sounds like we want to put it in from the committee side. It's more of a procedural one. Do we start a new motion? Can we amend the first one? I'm a little unclear.
You can amend the motion that's sitting on the table.
Thank you.
Or
Uh.
alternatively, the seconder can withdraw the second. The motion can be withdrawn and remade. It doesn't, I mean, you can handle it either way.
I'd like to amend the motion to include the DPW 30 days written notice prior to commencement of any construction activities.
Second.
All in
Aye.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you very much. Good luck.
Looks good.
As always.
Thank you.
The last item on the agenda is the North Beach Planning Commission Rules of Procedure discussion and adoption. We've got a few documents that we have been working on. Let's see. We have the rules of procedure and we also have the alternate member policy.
So let me just interject that I have no difficulty with the adoption of a policy on alternates, provided that everyone understands that it cannot go into effect until an ordinance is introduced to amend the zoning ordinance provision.
Understood. Thank you. Any preference for which of these we address first?
In looking at the rules of procedure, I think there are sections in there that discuss alternates.
Hmm.
So we may want to.
Chairman, this may be a document that we need to take one more review with, and if that's the case about the alternates, I'm working off of my small laptop, so I don't have all the documents in front of me tonight. And if we need to pull that language out of your rules of procedures, then I'm more than happy to do that and possibly bring the documents back next month.
I don't see that here. Does anyone? I mean, I see officers of the commission.
It's there.
Is it?
It's there.
It is there.
It is there under definitions. Or commission shall refer to the North Beach Planning Commission consists of the members. And then the definition of members shall mean one of 5 members, including the alternate members. There, it is in there, so. At least in that part. Oh, it's also in the next part. The term for the alternate members.
I mean, obviously, there's going to be overlap between these documents in some way. So I'm kind of thinking out loud how that might work. We have the alternate member policy as a fully separate document. But the definitions, you're not going to be able to completely remove that as the commission is defined by members as well as alternates. Is it anywhere else in this document?
No, it's
Can I interject something else?
Certainly.
with me? I believe that state law says that the planning commission has to consist of 3, 5, or 7 members. And I will pull that up in just a second. But you've, in this policy, and your code says the planning commission shall consist of 5 members, which is an 8-103. So in your policies, you've said it's going to be 5 members, including the alternate. And I don't think that can work because then you have 4 regular members, and I am not sure that that is consistent with state law. You could have 5 plus the alternate, but I don't think the 5 can include an alternate.
So it would be better to divide that sentence into 2 saying that the planning commission consists of the members. Members shall mean one of the 5 members. I mean, I guess my question is it necessary to address the alternate in this definition?
Give me 1 second. I have too many documents open here.
That's
1
okay.
moment. Back to where, so you are in the draft rules of procedure or in the policy on the alternate?
So for example, could we put member shall mean one of 5 members, alternate members?
I'm sorry, Alyssa, they're in the rules of procedure, not the alternate member policy.
Got it. All right.
That's what she was asking.
Yeah.
Under number 3 definitions.
And
the
okay, member
the
shall
last
mean,
sentence there.
yes. I would just let's see, shall mean one of 5 members. Maybe you could say including, there's 1 alternate, right? There's going to be 1 alternate.
The idea is that 2, correct?
2, okay. So you could say including either or both of the alternate members when sitting in lieu of a regular member.
Great. That sounds like a great fit. Alternates are also mentioned in the second paragraph of section 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, there's 2 section 3s, but the second section
There
3.
are 2 section 3s, yes. Um, so, but I think that one's okay. An alternate
Sure.
member appointed 5 years, and there's an extra word in there.
Okay.
5 years, then you want to strike the and, I think. So appointed for 5 years. Oh, yes, comma, may serve.
Great. You got that, Stacy?
Yes, it'll be recorded.
Okay. Great.
Be recorded.
But my question is, in the first paragraph of the second section 3, where it says the planning commission shall consist,
Mm-hmm.
it probably is going to need to be changed of the to 5 members plus 2 alternate members. Alternatively, as I say, you could change that to, I mean, it would require change the zoning ordinance, but since you're going to have to change that anyway, it could be a 3-member planning commission plus the 2 alternates.
I would say yes. I think
Alyssa, the goal was to have the 5-member planning commission with the 2 alternates. Because there's been many meetings where we have not had the ability to have a quorum.
Right.
Yeah. The idea is not just the
I do
alternates
not-
for
I
quorum,
do
but
not think
for
it's a good, I don't think it's a good idea to move it back to 3 members and 2 alternates.
Okay. I have no pony in that race. I'm just trying to explain what the possibilities are that I think would be consistent with state law. So you can leave it at 5 plus 2. And we can make the necessary alterations to the plans to reflect that.
okay.
I think we should go with.
I had realized I was sort of throwing a monkey wrench into your proceedings, and I wanted to make sure that you had all the options. So forgive me.
Thank you for that. Thanks.
5 plus 2 looks good.
Yeah, and as mentioned in the other document, we haven't gotten to that yet, but the idea is to not only have the alternates to form a quorum, but to have them round out the 5, if possible.
Oh, I see. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Great. Any other comments or questions on the procedures?
Yeah, I had a question on section 2 powers. So it runs through reading advise town council on all matters relating to orderly growth of town. More specifically, it shall. You run down, it hits category 1 site plans. And as we stand today, we're doing category 1 and category 2. So I just want to make sure we didn't drop that off. And I think we did have some kind of conflict on whether. Okay.
For category 1 and category 2.
Okay. I had a question on the meetings section. Eligibility for remote attendance. We're looking to get advance notice to the staff liaison if you're not able to meet. Do we want to make that? Is there a number of hours we want to put on that, or I don't want to hamstring anybody because emergencies come up, so I'm not sure. Well, I guess we could talk about we're encouraging alternates to be available and attend all the time. So I know that's why we're doing that. So if there's somebody has a true emergency, we don't. But I'm just wondering, or do we just leave it this way, and put it at discretion.
Are you looking for my opinion? Not my opinion, but just based off of the town council also, that things do come up at the last minute. And they also don't have a number of hours we need to be notified by.
They don't.
They do not, no.
Okay.
And I will say you all are pretty good about not, of letting me know when you're not available or when you do need to attend by Zoom. Way before the meeting day.
Okay, that was going to be my next question out there. So I don't want to pick at that if we don't need to. So I'm fine the way it is.
Stacy, on section
Yes,
7,
ma'am.
that the second paragraph that was lined out, is that lined out because it's not supposed to be there, or was that just some weird word thing?
Let me go back to the document. I had the other one up. I'm sorry, section 7. Where was your question at?
The second paragraph that's lined through, is
Mhm.
that to be deleted?
Yes, that's to be deleted.
Okay,
At your last meeting, you all asked for that to be deleted because you didn't think it was appropriate for only the town administrator or the town attorney to be the only individuals who could speak during the meetings.
okay. Thank you.
And so I clarified it with the top sentence.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Stacy,
Yes.
there are two references to Article 66B in Section 2 powers that don't exist anymore, and I'm going to have to give you the correct citations for those.
Okay, I appreciate that.
That should be the land use article.
Okay.
Alyssa, this is Rick, zoning admin director.
Yeah.
I have two questions. Are we able to make these adjustments that are needed in the ordinance as simple text amendments? My suggestion would be that adding the two is just a simple sentence added to the membership group at the end now. And
Yeah.
should we also add a text amendment to allow for the remote attendance?
I don't think that you need a text amendment on the remote attendance, but hold on one second because I somehow managed, after I went through all of that, to download and open your zoning ordinance. I closed it, so give me one second. Let's see. So sorry, I'm just having trouble with my document. All right. Membership. So I think in 8103, it's simple enough just to add and 2 alternates after shall consist of 5 members. And then meetings. Well, we could at the same time, since it'll be a single ordinance, right? We could just add something to 8105 meetings, but I don't think it's necessary because it doesn't currently say that they have to attend in person.
Yeah, 8105 doesn't specify.
Yeah. So we can go either way on that.
So then just 8103A, the planning commission shall consist of 5 members and 2 alternates who shall, and the rest of the
Mhm.
paragraph can stay, and that can be the entire text amendment.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then commission good with that?
And Rick, I don't know if you agree, but it seems to me that if they take a vote on that change, that can constitute their recommendation to the town council.
Okay. That's why.
Right, so it doesn't have to come back to them again.
Yeah. Yes, ma'am.
Can you tell us again, Rick, what you're
So
proposing?
8103
Yeah,
in the zoning ordinances where it lists planning commission membership, and right now it reads, the planning commission shall consist of 5 members who
Yeah.
shall be qualified voters. We're going to do a text amendment to just add after the 5 members and 2 alternates.
okay.
That way we don't have to do a complete ordinance change. If you guys want to vote on that and agree to that tonight, then I can write it up, could have Stacy send it to you to sign, and then we can send that to the council. It'll save us 30 days.
Do we vote on that? Is it a verbal okay? Do we need a motion? What's the process for that?
I think you would make a
Motion,
Motion.
make a motion for the text amendment to add 2 alternates to 8103A.
So a text amendment, we don't need a public hearing, correct?
Rick, can you call about which type of text amendments you're talking about to the ordinance or to the bylaws?
To the ordinance.
Can you give me 1 second on that question, because that is a very good question.
Anytime you do any sort of changes to the zoning ordinance, it always requires a public hearing.
Yeah, you're gonna need a public hearing, so
Yeah,
my
it
my
doesn't matter if
little,
it's a text amendment or it's a change to the zoning ordinance.
yeah,
And
my
Alyssa,
little-
just a little bit of back information. The Planning Commission intends to update our zoning ordinance. So this is part of why we were working on the policies and procedures and the alternate member
Mm-hmm.
for the planning commission so that we still had the ability to work efficiently while we were making the changes and revisions to the zoning ordinance.
No, I understand. And forgive me, my little workaround is not going to work because I am looking and they do need to have a public hearing, so they'll
Mhm.
have to.
So the
they'll have to
planning
go
commission
through-
has to have a public hearing, or does
Oh,
the
I'm
town-
sorry, you're right, that's a legislative body. I do not think.
does
Yeah,
the
that-
town council's public
they have
hearing
to
will
have a-
cover that?
They have to have a joint public hearing anytime there's any change to the zoning ordinance.
Is that in the zoning ordinance? Because it's not in the
It-
state
it-
law.
It is. It's in our ordinance.
All right, hold on.
The planning commission makes the recommendations, sends them to the town council, then they conduct a joint public hearing. The ordinance is produced and we go through the same process of the ordinance. Introduction, the next month's voting.
Do you know what section that is by any chance?
Give me 1 second. I don't have my zoning ordinance up tonight.
I'm just scrolling. If you don't, that's fine. Because for some reason my search function isn't working in mine, so I have to scroll and it's really irritating. Maybe I can do it now.
It is. So a single hearing is allowed according to our ordinance, so the commission could vote tonight for the recommendation. We can write the text amendment, and then the public hearing will be satisfied by the town council.
Yeah, so Rick, I'm sorry, do you have the section number?
7303.
I was in
It
chapter.
reads, all applications or ordinances to amend the zoning ordinance or the zoning map shall be subject to a public hearing before the planning commission and town council. In accordance with section 7106, a single public hearing on the amendment may be held jointly by the planning commission and town council.
Okay.
Yes, it's a joint public hearing, as I stated prior.
Yeah. It is kind of odd though, because when you look at 7304, and maybe this is something that you need to clean up. Says after the conclusion of the public hearing, the planning commission shall report to the town council its recommendations, which is odd because the town council is like it's a joint public hearing, and so for the planning commission to report afterwards is somewhat odd, but I guess it can work. I assume that's what you've been doing up until now.
I think that's in there, Alyssa, because the 7303 allows for it to go both ways for
Right.
for them to have their own individual public hearing. But the way that we've usually done it has been the joint public hearing so that there's only one.
Yeah. All right.
So they should be able to vote on their recommendation and then forward that to the town council for the public hearing.
Okay, I move that we forward a recommendation to town council that Article 8, Section 103, Membership Section A of the North Beach zoning ordinance should be amended so that the first sentence reads, "The Planning Commission shall consist of 5 members and 2 alternates who shall be qualified voters and/or property owners in the town."
Second.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Did you have another comment, Rick? That was both. Okay. Your other comment was about the virtual attendance? Okay. One question I did have was in the rules of procedure, it states that the chair should ask the applicant if they are willing to proceed with just a quorum. I don't have the exact numbers here, the exact language here. At the beginning of the meeting, the chairman will address the applicant and provide the option to proceed either with the full board, 5 members present, or with no fewer than 3 members.
That's with that on whether you were going to add and whether they were satisfied with the form of 3, whether they would like to have the 2 alternates. I suggest that we only have 3 and 2 alternates a year. I think it's reasonable.
I mean, but this presumably alternates would be assigned at the beginning of the meeting, right? So this doesn't seem really directly applicable. Oh, at the beginning of the meeting. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Yes, it's at the beginning of the meeting. Remember, several months ago, you all had this discussion
That's right.
about giving the applicants the opportunity to present to the full board.
I was confused because it says applicant, not applicants there. So I was thinking it was on like a case by case basis, but I mean, is that a requirement we have to do, or I mean, honestly, I prefer not to do it. But if we need to comply with anything, obviously we should.
It's not a requirement. Again, these are your rules and procedures to conduct your meetings.
Sure. Okay. Could someone refresh my memory why it's there? Like what? This.
Yes, technically it's quorum of only 3. So if there's 3 of you, like tonight, there's 3 of you as a quorum, you don't need me. You could choose to have me, but you don't need me.
But this is more about the applicant providing an option to proceed either with the full board or with.
Like if they were comfortable presenting to just 3 of you instead of wanting all 5 of you.
Yes.
And if the applicant says no, then they don't care, then they don't. Just due to the 3 of you guys, or if they say we want to wait, they'd be deferred to the next month. That was like
Yes.
the bulk of our conversation.
I can't remember why
It was giving the applicant the opportunity. Let's take Mr. Russo's project for an example. That's a large project. So
Sure.
it was giving the applicant an opportunity to give the decisions on his project to 5 members versus 3. Well, maybe he would think, the applicant would think that he would rather have 5 members vote on his project versus the 3 who makes up a quorum.
Yeah.
So if they're given the opportunity at the beginning of the meeting and Mr. Russo said, no, I really would like to have 5 members in attendance to review my project, give feedback. Because then he may come back next month and the 2 members that weren't there have additional things
Understood.
they want to add to the project.
Understood. No, in that situation, it is better, I think, to be transparent and on the record with
Can a
project.
I guess I was looking at appeals. Can an appeal be based on the fact that we've got a quorum? I'm just trying to set a floor here.
That is not in our our Board of Appeals regulations, no.
Okay, so so we're giving them the opportunity to ask for more. However, it again, then it rolls to the next month. We're not, I can't see that we're under any time obligation at that, right? So they're,
No, it's their decision.
okay, that's trying to, I understand why you might want to ask that, so that's fine. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a basis of appeal. Doesn't sound like it is.
No, an applicant can take to the Board of Appeals a decision made by the zoning director that they did not feel was made correctly.
That's what I thought. Thank you.
Okay, I mean, I think we're in agreement. It sounds like good process to have that. Just need to remember to do it.
We'll put it on notes.
The floor is open. So any other comments from the committee or anyone? Alternates? So do we have everything? Sounds like we have everything we need to revise this document and approve it next month. Yep.
I
Okay,
have everything I need. Thank you.
great. So we can now take a look at the alternate member policy. We've been over this a few times. I'm hoping it's close to where we want it to be. And again, the floor is open, please. Whoever has a question, comment, edit. Just a quick comment. I'm not sure if we discussed this prior. It says here at the start of the meeting, what to do in case of people being late to a meeting. How is that handled?
I do not believe we've ever discussed that question.
Are you asking if there's, if the alternates join in because there's somebody's not there and then the regular member shows up later?
Yes. Does the alternate stay seated for the duration? Does the standing member take their seat when they arrive?
Good question.
Mickey.
Mickey Hummel. For the late, if they're communicating with the staff liaison, saying, hey, I'm going to miss it, they could say, I'm going to be late. So you could know ahead of time, hey, we have a third or fourth member coming. So then you could ahead of time choose how many alternates, if they're both in presence, to appoint if needed, knowing that, hey, this person said, I'm going to be 10 minutes late. Because that happens on the council where we know, hey, this person's going to be 10 to 15 minutes late. They got stuck in traffic. We know what we can approve if we're tight on people, so we can go through some things until they get here.
Mhm.
So that could be a way to handle the late, as long as they communicate to the staff liaison.
Yeah, I think that's reasonable if you know. I think that's obviously one way for lateness. The other way would be the unknown lateness where it's 7 o'clock and you have to start the meeting. So, and it would only come into play if you had 4 people. Alternate was seated for the 5th to start the meeting, and then the 5th standing member arrives late. So. Aside from what we have to do to comply with, there's any ideas on what we could do?
Should we include that in the one that we just said was okay?
Yeah.
The procedures thing, should that be a part of that?
I mean, here it goes. I think it goes in the designation section, number 3.
Yeah, but it also involves the members. Like, members should know, hey, if your person is, if your body is not in that seat by such and such a time, you will be, we need.
Hmm.
It probably should be in there too.
Mr. Hanson,
Yes.
we do have one question / comment on Zoom. Would you like to take that now regarding a question regarding the alternate?
Yes, that would be great.
So the question is, you have 2 alternates. Would they count as the full commission if there wasn't a quorum and the applicant requested the full number?
Say that again, please.
You have 2 alternates. Would those alternates count as the full commission if there wasn't a quorum and an applicant requested the full number? Not sure.
Yes, I don't see why not. The floor is open,
Okay.
please. Yeah.
I rereading this for number 3, the designation and voting. I mean, I guess it's a little confusing to me as I'm rereading it, because the first paragraph is stating that at the start of each meeting, the chair will designate alternates who will serve as voting members. But then in the second paragraph, it says if the planning commission has fewer than 5 members present available, alternate members shall be designated to participate. So if it says there that they're going to be required to participate, why are you designating it at the beginning of the meeting? Because it says right there that if you have fewer than 5 members, you gotta sit. That's a little, is it contradictory or am I reading it wrong?
It's additional information. What it's saying is.
Yeah.
The chair at the beginning is gonna say who's doing what as a function of the chair. And the second part is just an explanation.
Okay.
That 5 seats shall be full.
That will be
filled.
full. Okay.
If not just to get to a quorum. I
Yeah,
think
that just
that
because
is
we're
the
trying to go
result
for the
of,
full 5,
if possible.
Yeah.
regardless of having quorum at 3.
Yes.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
just, thank you for clarifying.
Section 2 and 3 are the ones we were going over quite a bit. But to my eye, those reflect our discussions and seem clear. Except for the lateness. And I don't know if we actually need to. Maybe that might be getting too in the weeds for what we need to put in this document. It would require some special circumstances to happen. So
Are you referring to the alternate member being seated and then
yeah,
well, you could do it a few different ways. So if your regular member is absent at the beginning of the meeting and the alternate was already seated, that creates a quorum. The alternate can participate for the remainder of that particular agenda item, especially if a case is already started. But if no discussion or anything has started, the chairman has the opportunity to seat the regular member and excuse the alternate member for participating. But if, testimony or deliberations have already begun, you should keep the alternate for that agenda item, and then the other member can join once that
Sure.
particular agenda item is concluded.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense, and I'm pretty sure that would be the normal procedure. And that's why I was wondering if that's, documenting that is getting too in the weeds, or if that's more of a kind of a procedural thing for the chair.
Yeah, I think that decision should be made amongst the commission, how you
Yeah.
want to handle that.
I'm fine with the language the way it is. It would be a somewhat rare occurrence. Like I said, you'd have to have
Perfect storm.
to happen, and I think everyone here probably agrees that would be there's a consensus on how to handle that, and I think there would be in the future. It makes sense on how to do that. So I'm fine with the language the way it is.
I'm good. I think it meets what we were trying to do, which was trying to make sure at best we can service the requests and not roll to another month. Make sure we can get these things taken care of for people.
So in approving this doesn't kick in until the ordinance piece is there? Yes? No?
Are you asking me?
Okay.
Yeah, and considering when would that be realistic? And I'm asking primarily for the alternates.
Are you asking me?
Yes, Alyssa.
Okay. Yes, the alternate policy cannot kick in until the code is revised.
Need a motion?
So you can make a motion to adopt it. I don't know if you're ready to do that tonight, but as of such date as the zoning ordinance is amended.
Motion?
Yeah, please.
Okay. I move that we adopt the planning commission alternate member policy to take effect as soon as the zoning ordinance is amended concerning the presence of alternate members.
That's fine.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So just to clarify, Alyssa, until all of this is done correctly with the zoning ordinance, the alternate members will not be participating in any meetings going forward until we are done with the ordinance process?
Yes, I mean, the planning commission as it's constituted can consult in a public meeting with whomever they wish. So if they want to seek input as they did tonight from individuals who will be or may be the appointed alternate members in the future, there's nothing wrong with that. They just don't count as official members of the body.
And they do not have any voting capabilities
Right,
on
right,
projects, minutes, things like that.
yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure that I was clear on this process, that everyone was clear on the process.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We've reached the end of the formal agenda. Any other business? With that silence, I will ask for a motion to close.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Good night. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Stacy. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.